Welcome back to their hot takes video, and the first one says that Roman should have won at Mania, and there are some people who agree with this, but the majority would not, and I am with the majority. I don't think that Roman should have retained. I think he accomplished everything that he had to accomplish with that WWE Championship run, and I feel like if he retained, nothing would have changed right now because he would have taken a break. He wouldn't have come back for a long time. So honestly, Cody winning was the right choice. We just gotta give Cody a little bit more time. The match with AJ Styles was great, and I think the same will happen with Logan Paul. Matt says that Roman will go down as the greatest heel ever, and don't get me wrong, I think Roman as a heel was one of the best things that happened to his career in the WWE, but I don't think he's the best heel of all time. I think that goes to maybe Randy Orton from 2009 when the man was absolutely nuts, or even when he was the Legend Killer. Then you got Triple H, and then you also have Ric Flair, and then there's also Edge, as well as Vince McMahon. There's been plenty of heels in the past that have been better than Roman, in my opinion, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Roman has been a great heel. The next hot take says that the Bloodline have the undisputed best storyline of all time, no question. And honestly, this is a pretty good hot take, and I kind of think I have to agree with it because the Bloodline storyline has been going on for 4 years, and it's still one of the hottest things going. And I think we haven't even seen the best yet because we got The Rock and Roman coming up soon, and that's going to go absolutely insane. The next hot take says that without Seth and Roman, the WWE is just boring. And I don't think it's been boring. It's been going pretty well, but it does feel different. And I think that Seth Rollins and Roman both make the WWE a better place. So hopefully they can return sooner than later. Nuclear Heat says that Sami Zayn wouldn't be as popular as he is now if it wasn't for the Bloodline. And this is a really good hot take. And at first I agreed with it until I thought about it a little bit more. And I think Sami Zayn just needed a better booker, and Triple H sees the talent that Sami has. So if he wasn't ever in the Bloodline, I still think Sami would be over with the crowd, and I still think he'd be winning IC or US championships, maybe even having a WWE championship one day in the future. The next hot take says that Jey Uso needs to win a singles title by the end of the year, or his hype is for nothing. I guess I might have to agree with this a little bit because Jey Uso is so over with the crowd. You gotta strike when the iron is hot, and I think right now it's extremely hot. Jey Uso needs to win. I don't think he needs to win the WWE championship, but I do think he needs a mid-card belt. The Dead Dream has an opposite point of view. They think that Jey Uso is over pushed right now. I don't think so. Just look at the crowd reactions. The man is so over. He deserves every single minute of screen time and also being in that main event scene because Jey Uso is killing it. The fans love him, and he's also getting great reactions, so I don't see a problem with it at all. King Tyrell says that if WWE gave Jimmy the chance, he could be just as over as Jey. I don't think so, honestly. I think Jey is a much better singles competitor than Jimmy. I don't think Jimmy has the right look. I don't think he's that great on promos, and the crowd just doesn't connect with him the same way they do with Jey. It's unfortunate, but that's just my opinion on the situation between the two twins. This one comes from Twitter, and it says that Solo is more interesting than Cody right now, and that's not even a troll. Honestly, I do think that Solo is in a more interesting storyline right now with Paul Heyman, but I also like heels more than I like baby faces. And as for Cody Rhodes, he just hasn't been doing too much. I feel like his storylines are just about matches and not necessarily about stories, whereas Solo every single week matters and is building up something special. So I think Cody needs a long-term program. That's what Cody needs. DX says that Jacob Fatu will go down as one of the best wrestlers of all time. His wrestling skills and promo are top-notch. In my opinion, I think we need to wait and see what happens with Jacob Fatu. Like, it's too early to tell. He's not even on the WWE roster yet. They signed him, or maybe they didn't. I don't know. He's coming soon, but I think let's give it some time. I do think there's a lot of potential and upside. We just got to wait and see what happens. Abraham says we need a female bloodline, or to put a female in the bloodline. I don't think we need a whole ass female bloodline. I also don't know if a woman in the bloodline would work. I feel like Naomi would have been perfect with Roman Reigns and the Usos, but that's clearly not the bloodline we got nowadays. So I really don't think a woman should be added right now because I really can't think of anybody that would fit. Maybe The Rock's daughter in the future, but right now she's doing things in NXT. Icy says that the bloodline storyline will never end, and you're absolutely right. All these people are having kids nowadays, and they're going to grow up to take over the WWE, and the bloodline storyline I think is going to go on for 20 or 30 years. It's going to be insane. I can't wait. John says that WrestleMania 40 in 5 years from now will be considered the greatest pay-per-view of all time, and there's a strong chance that that does happen because right now I think it's a top 5 WrestleMania, maybe even top 3. The main event of WrestleMania Night 2 was so special, and there were so many great moments from that weekend, so there's a good chance that this does happen. Right now, I would say it is number 3, but in 5 years, people might look back and the nostalgia might hit, and it might be the best of all time. The next hot take says that with the loss of Roman and his title reign, Raw has become the A show, and the 3 hours seem way easier to watch than months before. I agreed with this hot take until the second part of it. I think that the 3 hours still don't feel easy to watch. By the time we're at 10 p.m., I'm tired, I'm feeling exhausted, I want to just sleep. The WWE needs to make Raw 2 hours again. Speaking of 3 hours, Double Dash thinks that Smackdown should be a 3-hour show. That's just ludicrous. Please, no, there's no way. I don't think so. Smackdown needs to please stay as 2 hours. Do not make it 3. Not Me 116 says that the modern day era has a better roster than the 2008 roster. And while I love the modern day roster, it just does not come close to the 2008 roster with John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Jeff Hardy. The list goes on. I'm sorry, but I can't agree with this hot take. Abraham comes back and says that Carlito needs his old theme back, and I totally agree. I don't know why he got a new one. The old one was so epic. It was so good. Please bring it back. Speaking of theme songs, Domino says that AJ's new theme is kind of fire. I disagree. I don't know. The more I hear it, I just don't feel any better about it. Maybe I got to give myself even more time. I just feel like his old song was too fire to ever be changed, but unfortunately they did that. Let's see if they ever bring it back. The next hot take says that Finn Balor has fallen off so bad to the point where I don't know if there's any saving. And that's kind of sad considering the Finn Balor that there was in New Japan. He was a beast. Even in NXT, the guy was doing big things. And I do agree that he's fallen off a bit, but hopefully things can change with Triple H now in full control. And I see that Triple H is trying to book Finn Balor against Damian Priest, and I think that might revive his career. I have hope. SG23 says that WWE sees more potential in Carmelo Hayes than they do in Braun Breaker, and I don't agree with this hot take. I think WWE equally values these guys both as the future of the company. I think if anything, Braun Breaker might have a better and stronger future just because I feel like he's the bigger guy between the two. Even though Carmelo Hayes does have the better promos, that might rank him a little bit higher. I don't know. I just think that these two are neck and neck. I think they're going to be the face of the franchise. I think they're both going to be the faces of WWE, and they will main event a Wrestlemania together. The next hot take says that Rey Mysterio should leave LWO and should go on a solo run for any championship, and I can't say anything other than I totally agree. The LWO is holding the man back. I feel like the group is at this point. Move this guy away from there. Put him in the US or IC title picture, or maybe bring back the Cruiserweight Championship. That could be a lot of fun. Maybe even put him in the World Championship match with Damian Priest. That could be fun. I don't know. I think Rey Mysterio is too good to be stuck in the LWO right now. The next hot take says that Seth freaking Rollins should win next year's Royal Rumble match. That might not be a bad hot take, because honestly, I'm thinking about it. I think that Drew and CM Punk will feud, and if CM Punk is the champion, then maybe Seth does win and feuds with CM Punk. But then again, I think that Seth is going to feud with Roman Reigns. So if I was booking it, I would have SummerSlam. Drew McIntyre beats CM Punk in 5 minutes, maybe SummerSlam or Survivor Series, and that's when CM Punk needs to scratch and claw his way back to the top, win the Royal Rumble, and beat Drew for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania to get his redemption. That's how I would book it. And the last hot take says that Cody Rhodes' father is Dusty Rhodes, and all I gotta say to that is, yes, that is a fact. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you all in the next video.